Remember, managers and leaders are not the same. Managers manage tasks and systems. You want to be a leader. Leaders inspire people. General Norman Schwarzkopf once said that leadership is all about inspiring others, not just getting the job done, but getting people to want to get the job done. He says, if you stare at a tank and you go, about face, the tank doesn't do anything. It takes the people to make that tank go. If you're in the office and you look at your spreadsheet and you say, get in that computer, it's not going to do it. It takes the people to make the things happen. And your goal, whether you are managing in any capacity, your real goal is to inspire people to get those jobs done and inspire them to want to do it. Now, there's some examples of poor managing, and I want to share some of those, and then the antidote, so what to do instead. Okay? So one thing that you want to avoid doing is yelling at people. Yelling at people does not inspire people to act quicker. It just causes them to want to, poke holes in your tires after work. And sarcasm doesn't work either. Being cynical and having sarcasm, a lot of people might laugh, but it ends up hurting feelings. So it builds up a feeling of resentment, and at the end of the day, you end up with a mutiny instead of a team of people that will follow you anywhere. You want to make sure that instead of being demanding, you're more of connecting and understanding where people are coming from. Instead of just saying it has to get done this way and this way, you might say, what are your ideas on this? And why'd you make that decision? So that you can empower people and help co-create a more effective way, a more innovative way, a more creative way, a more efficient way of getting the job done. You want to make sure that you're not leading people off a cliff just because of insecurities that we might have. And I know that that is hard to admit sometimes, but people inside will know that they've done it. A little story about a group of people that were on top of a mountain, and one of the guides runs right towards the edge of the cliff and jumps off, and then all of a sudden gets pushed right back onto the cliff. And everybody's like, wow, how'd you do that? And he said, well, there's this huge updraft. And when you jump off, it pushes you right back onto the mountain. And one of the guys in the group was real ambitious, and he says, oh man, I want to try that. And the guy just smiles. So the guy takes off, and he runs off the edge of the cliff and drops all the way to the bottom. Poof. Everybody's, oh. One of the other guides walks up to the original one, and he says, Superman, you've got to stop doing that. But how many times have we decided that if we weren't going to win, we weren't going to let anybody else win? Or we weren't focusing on building other leaders around us. We were focusing on feeling needed. A lot of times leaders mistake a need to feel significant with a desire to contribute. Contributing means building as many leaders as you possibly can without any regard that someone's going to take your job. But building people around you. Those are the best types of leaders. Some of the worst leaders are those that do not build others because, I don't have time, or because secretly they want to feel needed. So they're the ones saying, oh my gosh, everybody brings everything to me all the time. I can't get things done because everybody's always coming to me. But they're not really ever doing anything to change that correctly. And one of those things we want to do is seek first to understand and to listen to people and then to be understood. Instead of marching in talking because you're obviously right, what if you went in discussing about how the other person saw it, why they made those decisions, and what's going on inside? The second thing you want to do is be authentic. You've got to care. Stop doing other activities. If someone comes into your office, stop typing. If you're on the phone, tell them I'll be with you in a few minutes. If you can't do it right now, say I'm on the phone, you're important, I'll be with you at this time. But give them your attention. Don't just, what's going on? What do you have going on? Because that sends a message that I don't really care about you. I got other stuff to do. Have integrity, which means that you got to walk the talk. If you tell them you're going to do something, you got to do it. And if you're not going to do it, don't tell them. Because that gets around really fast. It's a small world, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not walking the talk, everybody will know it. I want you to assume the best in people as well. People will rise up or down to the bar that you set for them. So believe in people and assume the best in them. Help them to shoot towards the moon. Even if they miss, they're still among the stars. And when they take that shot, validate them. Validate them so that they feel good. And they'll keep taking shots just to help you.